Steel division developer Eugen Systems has fired 6 employees involved in an ongoing pay dispute, which represents around a quarter of its entire workforce. Prior to the sackings, there were around 21 developers left at the French studio, which has been lambasted by staff over the past 2 years for failing to compensate them for overtime, ignoring minimum wage laws, and refusing to acknowledge employee contracts. The situation boiled over in February this year, when a group of Eugen devs walked out on strike, although they were ultimately forced to return to work 2 months later after management refused to negotiate. Since then, the Video Game Workers Union of France, STEF, has promised to help Eugen employees fight for their rights with all the legal means at its disposal, and is in the process of bringing a case against Eugen to a labor tribunal. For its part, Eugen claims the firings are unrelated to the ongoing pay dispute, but the staff has branded the move an act of retaliation. We believe that this was an act of retaliation and a preemptive move by management ahead of a case over low pay being brought against Eugen Systems by 15 employees as well as the staff. The case is due to go before the labor tribunal in March 2019. Wrote the staff. The 6 workers were fired under the pretext of having negatively affected the mood greater ambience of the studio and used insulting language in a conversation that took place in a private chat channel. All 6 were participants in this year's strike. Those interested can read the staff's full account of the situation right here. A quiet update to the App Store review guidelines suggests that the officially OSAT marketplace is looking to enable gifting for in-app purchases in the future. Whereas previous rules limited gifting to only full apps, the change, first spotted by Macromers, went live yesterday, though Apple has yet to officially announce the new policy or detail how the change will affect things on iOS developers' side of the fence. The section that directly addressed and outlawed gifting in-app purchases like content, features, or consumable items has now been replaced by the text. Apps may enable gifting of items that are eligible for in-app purchase to others. Such gifts may only be refunded to the original purchaser, and may not be exchanged. Previously, that line read, apps should not directly or indirectly enable gifting of in-app purchase content, features, or consumable items to others. The new policy potentially means that with free-to-play or other in-app purchase-friendly games on the App Store could be seen a revenue boost as players are given the ability to purchase in-game currencies or items for friends. Vivendi-owned mobile studio Gamasutra has purchased its own pop developer, FRESHPLANET, for an undisclosed fee. Established back in 2009, FRESHPLANET found success with music TV titles, Song Pop and Song Pop 2, the first of which has been downloaded over 100 million times. Gamasutra believes the deal will help reinforce its presence in the States, and says it will support the studio in working on more ambitious projects by providing it with commercial, publishing and marketing support. FRESHPLANET is the unmatched category leader in music trivia. Their mobile games gather a large and engaged audience and are developed with a level of craft and passion that is everything we stand for, said Gamasutra CEO Stefan Roussel. This naturally led us to bring them on board. With Fresh Planet's talent and creativity, we see great opportunities to develop new ways of having fun and to reinforce our presence in North America. Although it will now operate as a Gamasutra studio, FRESHPLANET will continue to be led by CEO Matthew Nusreff, and will remain located in New York. Newsbrief, No More Studios, Just Adventure platformer, Grace, has turned a profit after just 1 week on sale. The title launched on December 30th via Switch, Windows and Mac, and has been met with largely positive reviews. Although we do not have any exact sales figures, it's still an impressive feat for the colorful indie effort. Grace has been out for 1 week, and our team is overwhelmed by the incredible reception and thrilled that the game is already profitable, wrote No More. Thank you all so much for your support. Newsbrief, No More Studios, Just Adventure platformer, Grace, has turned a profit after just 1 week on sale. The title launched on December 30th via Switch, Windows and Mac, and has been met with largely positive reviews. Although we do not have any exact sales figures, it's still an impressive feat for the colorful indie effort. Grace has been out for 1 week, and our team is overwhelmed by the incredible reception and thrilled that the game is already profitable, wrote No More. Thank you all so much for your support. Failure Developer 343 Industries announced earlier today that it is partnering with Limitless Solutions, a non-profit providing prosthetic limbs for children, to offer Halo-themed, bionic prosthetics to young kids. This is yet another heartwarming example of studios collaborating with important organizations to help those in need, and it's always important to highlight the good work being done. The studio explained the partnership in a blog post, explaining how it was born from the desire to inspire and help others. There are, however, times where opportunities to inspire heroes and deliver wonder present. THAMACLBESWTSIDETHE scope of game code, cutscene scripts, sandbox balancing. The 3D printed Limitless bionic prosthetics are functional and cost-effective. Best of all, the non-profit organization donates their prosthetic arms completely free of charge to recipients and their families. As far where Halo comes in, beginning in 2019, Limitless will add 2 special Halo-themed options to their lineup of designs for their 3D printed bionic arms, with the first being a recreation of the Master Chief's own MKY armor. The entire post goes into more detail about the collaboration and the kind of work Limitless is doing, so be sure to read it there. The year is nearly over, and as you look towards the year ahead, know that Rockstar North will be at the HGAME Developers Conference in March to share a unique vision of video game environment design, as spatial cinematography, notably, ROCKSTARNOLTHS Miriam Ballard will be presenting a visual arts track talk on environment design as spatial cinematography, theory, and practice that promises some intriguing insights. Ballard will explore her notion of spatial cinematography in theory and practice using examples from TV Online DLC, pre-production to final art. She will show you how actually cinematic experience can be developed by adapting film concepts such as shots, editing and 2D screen design, as well as understanding how the player interacts with and perceives the game environment. Check out Ballard's session to learn about the effect of the 3D environment on the cinematic experience, including through movement, player attention, and spatial design. You should walk away with a tidy package of ideas and techniques that can be used during pre-production to enhance the quality of final in-game environments in your own projects. For more details on this talk, and many more, check out THEGDC 2019 session scheduler. There you can begin to lay out your DD week, which takes place March 18th through the 10th to adapt the newly renovated Moscone Center in San Francisco. Bring your team to BD. Register a group of 10 or more and save 10% on conference passes. Learn more here. For more details on NGDC 2000 on 19 visit the show's official website. Or subscribe to regular updates via Facebook, Twitter, or RSS. Gamasutra and BD are sibling organizations under parent company Informa. Battlefield 5 developer DICE has rolled back a recent change to the game's time to kill (TTK) after the earlier alteration skewed the game's multiplayer difficulty in favor of newer players a little too much. The balance DICE is trying to strike between the two sides of the game's balance is not an easy one to achieve, and unfortunately working that out is taking a bit of public trial and error for the developer. The now removed changes raised that TTK, meaning that players across the board could take more hits before dying in the game's multiplayer showdowns, while that gave new players a bit more staying power. The change drew criticism from more experienced players over how it affected the game's meter and overall play experience. Following that feedback, the team addressed this latest change and YTTK is now being rolled back to how it was at the game's launch in a post on Reddit. Our intent with the TTK changes was to see if we could evolve the Battlefield 5 experience and make it more enjoyable for new players, whilst also making sure the Battlefield fans have a choice with a more core experience suiting their preferred playstyle. Reads the post from the dev team. Clearly we did not get it right. Veteran players did not ask for the change, but as game developers,